With the recent happenings in Utah and the fact that that assailant happened to be Mormon, it got me thinking about my experience with Mormon people, the Mormon religion. When I was 19 years old, 1979, I took a job at a small radio station in northern Arizona, station in Holbrook, Arizona. Now it's a sleepy little town. I don't know what it's like now. It's been 40, 45 years since I've been there, but I go to this small town. Now this whole town is mostly Mormon with a fair amount of Navajo people. Now both sides were fairly friendly to me, fairly nice to me, except I'm a white urban Lutheran kid going into a town with a bunch of Mormons and Navajo people. To say I didn't fit in very well or that I stood out like a sore thumb is an understatement. But nonetheless, I went, I made friends, and I got to know a lot of people. The Mormon religion confused me, though, but I had to be very careful. My boss was Mormon. My landlord was Mormon. Just about anybody I'd work with as a client when I worked at the radio station was Mormon. So I just had to kind of keep my mouth shut and not talk about religion. Of course, they always talked about religion because they're always on the make to convert people. They always want to convert people. I remember I'd be in my apartment, my sparsely furnished apartment, because I had no money, and I get a knock on the door. I'd open the door, and there'd be these two young guys, maybe a little older than I am. They are called elders, and they were there to try to convert me. Now, normally I'd just slam the door in their face and they'd go away. But remember, I'm in a town of Mormons. My boss is a Mormon. My landlord is a Mormon. I can't afford to offend these people, okay? So anyway, I'd talk to them and they'd come in and they came by a few times. And the last time I was getting fucking tired of it. I really didn't want to deal with this stuff. I mean, my mom spent 19 years trying to make me a Lutheran, and that didn't work. These guys aren't going to do it in the short time I'm going to be here. So they'd come in, and they'd sit down, and I thought, how can I approach this without offending them or without agreeing with them? Now, what I knew about Mormons, no matter what you told them, they always had a pat answer. It's like they studied this shit. If a Catholic says this, you say that. I swear to God, that's what it was. And if there was ever a question that they couldn't answer, they would say, I know because I feel the warmth in my heart from God. I thought that's kind of a bullshit answer. So I thought, what can I do? So the next time they came, I said, yeah, come on in, have a seat, let's talk. They said, we want to talk to you about Mormonism. I said, cool, shoot. Tell me what you want to tell me. And they say, what religion are you? I go, it's not really a religion. You don't want to hear about that. He goes, no, we want to hear about it because they got those pat answers. I said, okay, here's the deal. You may not believe this, but it doesn't matter. I believe that I'm the only one that exists. Everything in existence is just a figment of my imagination. Everything around me is here because I decided it would be here. You guys are here because I wanted you here. And when I don't want you here anymore, you'll be gone. I believe that I'm the center of everything, and everything that happens is of my making. And they look confused. They go, motherfucker, we don't have a pat answer for that one. And they said, really? And they tried to delve in deeper. And I happen to be a good talker and good at speaking impromptu and making shit up on the fly. And I took them down this fucking rabbit hole that when they got up and got out of there, they never came back because they didn't want to deal with this crazy, weird motherfucker. What's crazy is I listened to their shit and I felt the same way. What the fuck are you talking about? It makes no sense to a Lutheran kid. So what I chose to do in this situation is to confuse them and maybe terrify them a little bit with somebody who just, they can't answer to. And it worked. They never came back. My boss said, what happened there? I go, no, I just told them what I believed. Oh, okay. And they let it go. And nobody ever talked to me about religion again. They didn't want to get into the water that deep because whatever this fucking guy was thinking was really weird. Didn't offend them. I didn't tell them to go away. They just said, I'm not going to that motherfucker's place again.